Hi, this is Carrie from The Creative Accent. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to edit the stacking tabs. I'm just scrolling down here to show you the stacking tabs on my new website template called Willawood. There are 4 stacking tabs, and I'm going to show you how this is built in the Showit platform and how you can edit this to make it your own. Let's dive in. So here we are in the Showit platform. We've got our mobile version here on the left, our desktop version on the right. And I do want to note that the stacking feature is only showing on the desktop version. Why? Because with the mobile view, it's sometimes difficult to have a lot of stacking elements because of spacing. So I don't have the stacking going on the mobile side, although it is possible. But for the sake of this template and the tutorial, we're only going to be focusing on the stacking that's happening on the desktop view. Now you'll find that there are 4, let me just zoom out here so you can have a more of a global view. So you'll see on this page, there are 4 stacking tabs, and each one is in its own canvas. Now, to get the stacking effect, the magic really happens with the settings over here under Canvas. So if I click on Service 1, so this is the first tab, then I'm going to see for desktop that the settings for sticky are top on scroll, whereas on the mobile side, there's no sticky effect, so it's set to none. So on the desktop version, top on scroll, and then it's offset by a certain amount. And the offset just means that it will not go, if this was 0, it would go all the way to the top of the page. So if we see how this works, I scroll down, I still want my navigation to be visible. So that's why I have it offset to by 97 pixels so that it will stop there and not go all the way to the top. Now the other ones are offset by a greater amount. Let me just show you that. So if I scroll down and I go to the second tab, you can see that this total, the top intro here where you see the ad service name, the number, and the line, it's set to come just over the line. So this is about 75 pixels. So each one, after that initial 97, each one adds on 75 pixels to get that stacking effect so that they stop just over that line, you see, as I scroll. And you'll also note that I'm on a wide screen desktop, and it's probably not advised to do more than 4 tabs. You might could get 5 tabs in, depending on the type of information that you want to show. But that said, the stacking will like compound on each other. So you definitely do not want to have something where your user wants to see information and it's like stuck and they can't quite see it because of the sticky effects. So make sure that the sticky effects never hinder the functionality and the usability of your website. So let's go back in here and look at how to edit these. So you can edit these tabs essentially like you would edit any other elements inside Showit. This is just a text box. You can see all the elements are named over here on the left. You can come in and change the text easily here. You just double click. It's just a text box like any other. You also have your normal style settings here. So you can make it bigger or smaller. You can change the font. You can change the color. And the same can be said for these and then these bullet points. So this is really helpful on the services page if you're going to highlight multiple services, and each one has like their own unique qualities that you want to bring to the attention of your user. You'll also notice that there's an image in each tab, and to change that, simply double click on the image. This will open up your media library where you can go and find another image that you want to add there. It's worth noting, and I'll just go back to the preview mode here, that the images are more for decorative purposes because of the stacking effect. You may not be able to see all of the image. You can see the more that I stack and scroll, the less of that image is shown. So these can be more of, let's say, atmospheric photos, not photos where it's really imperative that all the details show because of the nature of this effect. Now, again, you could totally leave out the image. You could probably add a 5th tab here, but it's always worth checking on other devices. So check on the laptop to see how that shows as well. But just to note that these are really more atmospheric photos rather than pure informational. So with that said, these tabs are simply built with shapes that you find inside the Showit builder already. So here you have add element. This is essentially just a rectangle. If I take a rectangle and I go to the effects, you can round those corners. You can, change it up a little bit. Probably have a little bit more of a round effect. I click. Oh, it's mixed because the bottom part is flat and the top part is curved. So to create this tab effect, I essentially would just click here and I would say a little bit more. Let's bump this up to 20, but let's go to 0 on the bottom. So then you see that it's totally flat on the bottom and then it's rounded on the top to create that tab effect. I'm just going to delete that. But essentially, that's what these background tabs are. And like anything else, you can come over here and change the color. So you could say, I'd rather this be that darker green, or whatever your brand settings are, you can change the color there. And they do extend slightly beyond the canvas because with Showit, you have different canvas stacking orders. So you can see over here, everything is set to 0, but the canvas below will always stack above the canvas before it. So you see that effect here, that although they're on the same stacking level, it will stick to the top and then the one below it will always come over top of it. So you'll have the same effect when you get to the end of that stacking, that whatever canvas is next, it will just come over all of it. The stacking tabs in this template are set to 4, but of course you can easily remove one. If you say I only have 3 main services that I want to highlight, then you could just come over here and click the 3 dots and come down and delete one of them. So then you'd only have 3. Like I said, if you would want to, I'm just going to Command Z and bring that back. If you would want to add another one, you can do the same thing, but just duplicate this tab. And the only thing that you would want to add on to that would be the offset. So you would just come to, here you have tab number, this will be number 5. And then you'll want to offset that by a certain amount. Let's change the color so it's a little bit clearer there. So then you would want to offset that by just adding in, let me go to click on the canvas. So the previous one was at 322. So you just want to add 322 plus 75 to make that offset like the others. But again, always, always, always check how this displays on multiple devices. So how it's looking on your laptop versus a widescreen desktop, so that you're sure that none of the information, or also check tablets as well. It's imperative that none of the information gets lost, because that always is frustrating for the user. So again, this is a fun kind of dynamic effect that you can add to your website, and that's included in this template, but you never want to sacrifice the functionality of your site for design and style like this. So if you are interested in more website tutorials specifically for Showit, then hit that subscribe button and follow along. If you're looking to revamp your own website, I hope you'll check out the template shop at shop.thecreativeaccent.com. I'll link that below. Have a great day.